places that I could have gone, all the ways I could have taken on the things they promised. Wondering, is it worth it to keep it on? The outfit I've worn so long, it's sure not working. Burning skin, the wave of anger comes again. What's the point of anything? I should be something. But all along, I felt something subtle going on, knowing there was more to it all. It's laying in the fall. And now I'm here. It feels like I got so far along, with nothing to show for who I am or what I've done. Being low, something everybody knows. Nothing really here at all to make it worth staying. But in the dark, it's easier to see the spark of the light that's been here all along. So I keep looking.
Happy New Year, everybody! Welcome. Thank you so much for being awake and alive today. We're so happy to celebrate with you. In this new year, I want to experience more oneness, more seeing God in every single human being that crosses my path. This song is about that. As always, if you feel like singing along, you can sing with us. First ride at the star line, heading into deeper space. Touchdown on the green one, the center of the sacred place. Flying in as a diamond, landing on the brighter grass. Gently giant approaching, eyes lock in timelessness. You are me. I am all I see. Knowing ocean eternal, a star is a doorway to truth. Freedom a drop ripples out, once held back now burst through. Weightless and with soft eyes, skin is shed and wings unfold. Laying down the last treasure I left off, nothing to hold. You are me. I am all I see. You are me. I am all I see. I took a long time finding my way. No one to say how hard it would ever be. I never knew we'd be staring through eyes like these. We never lost our way, no. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. You are me. We never lost our way. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. Take me as I am, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. First day of the year, take me as I am. I'm awake now, I'm awake now. I am home. Thanks, y'all. Where's Sam and Lucy? This one you've heard before. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good.
Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. A river running free, you know how I I feel. A blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, yeah, for me. And I'm feeling
good. I'm feeling good. It's the first day of the year and I'm feeling good. La da da da, la da 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 da. I'm feeling so good. Dragonfly out in the sun. You know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun. You know what I mean. Trees of the light sleeping till the day is done. And this old world is a bold world, and it's all new world for me. And I'm feeling good.
stars when you shine, you know how I feel. The scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine. You know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life, yeah, for me. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life, it's a new day for me, and I'm feeling.
And I'm feeling good. And I'm feeling good. Are you feeling good? Thank you, guys. We're going to do a little group sing along before we start. And it's about the sunshine, because it's right underneath that fog. Maybe it's already gone. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. This next round, you're going to sing it to the you that is the all that is, yeah? Let's take it to a funkier zone. 1, 2, 3. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Now think of someone you love. You are my sun. Dedicate this verse to that person. My only sunshine. You make me happy
When skies are gray,
when skies are gray. You'll never know how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine. All right, the last one. You sing it to yourself. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy. Skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine And now we'd like to introduce the Reverend Dr. Ken Wilcox.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Lucy. Isn't it good to have them back? Well, Happy New Year, everybody. Glad you're here. My name is Reverend Ken Wilcox, and glad you're here at the Center for Spiritual Living. This is a special day, so if you've come today, this isn't our typical service, but I think you're going to really find this a very interesting service. So, each Sunday when you come, I always ask you to do one simple thing, and that is to leave all your troubles, your would-haves, your could-haves, your should-haves, all your dying poinsettia plants, leave all that stuff. Yes, these poor little poinsettia plants, they have served us well. Leave it outside. Leave it outside for 45 minutes or so, maybe longer if I get on a real roll here. Leave it outside and open up an avenue of God possibilities in your life. And what are spirit possibilities? We're there for more love, more joy, more happiness, more connecting of old friends, more great music, more great food, more dancing, more laughing until you have to catch your breath. Those things are God showing up in the physical, and we want more of it, and we can have more of it. So that's our purpose here today, and your being here is going to serve you well, and you're going to leave here in some significant way, healed, blessed, and prospered. Well, just a couple of announcements before we get going. As I said, this is a special service. Next week, we'll be back to our regular service. We will be covering the first 4 chapters of our textbook. So if you've been here for a while, it's a good way to get reacquainted with our textbook, and it's a really interesting series of talks. Also, next service, we'll have announcements about classes coming up, about the members meeting coming up, and about potential for buying the building coming up. So next week, we'll give you a lot of information. But this week is the Burning Bowl and White Stone ceremony. And to get us started, I can't think of anything better than have our wonderful practitioner, Maureen, to come up and do a reading and treatment for us. Come on up, Maureen.
Happy New Year. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be the practitioner this morning. And I'm so happy to be with each and every one of you. And I am so grateful for this center and grateful for all of the wonderful people that are members here and visitors. And I bless this service. I bless Reverend Ken, Sam, and Lucy, and each and every one here that makes it all possible. We're all participating, and it's a wonderful feeling. The reading I have for this morning is the same book that I used for the meditation service, and she's one of my favorite authors. Of course, the linguistics, it's 100 years ago she wrote it. So, but I like that, and I hope you enjoy it. And it's called, her name is Eva Bell Werber, I forgot to tell you that. And it is called Go Into the New Year. It is the dawning of a new year as man counts time. Resolve to let no day begin nor end without a consciousness of my holy presence. Then shall no harm befall you, no plague come near your dwelling. Your path ahead shall be clear and easy to follow. I, the Lord of your being, will bring to pass through you my instrument all things I would have you do. Fear not, beloved, though clouds for a moment may hide the sun, yet it is ever shining. So is my love never hidden from you. Though for a moment you sense it not, it fills and enfolds you, and all will be well. So go into your new year with peace and quietness of heart, fearing no thing save a forgetfulness of my presence and power in your life. Look upon each day as a new beginning, even as a new year. For each day will wipe out mistakes of the past, and as you grow in consciousness each day, will find you further on the path of attaining the good which I crave for you. So let us turn within and know this truth, that the Creator only has good for us. And open now into this new year with the new thought of allowing this good to enter each life evermore, every day. The cosmic sweep comes over us and allows us to not only accept and embrace it, but welcome. The Creator is saying, welcome. Welcome to me. Allow. Just love me. I give thanks for this truth, knowing that that is for all of us, for each and every soul. We go forth now knowing that this service is blessed and a blessing, and we rejoice and celebrate in this day. Yes, thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day and every day. I give thanks for this truth, knowing that all is well as we go forth now, allowing it to be, letting it be, and so it is.
If any of you were in our former choir, I know you're here. Please feel free to join in. You know this one.
Light within me and all around me, I am one in the love. As the sky goes on forever, I am one in the love. From the starlight to the ocean, and the wind blowing through the trees, I am one with all I see. I am whole, I am free. Gazing in the distance, I saw across the sky a beautiful rainbow, many colors, one design. As I lay down for I began to close my eyes, and a great peace overcame me as I saw we're all divine. Light within me and all around me, I am one in the love. As the sky goes on forever, I am one in love. From the starlight to the ocean, and the wind blowing through the trees, I am one with all I see. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free. I am whole, I am free. I am free.
Thank you, Sam and Lucy. Love that. I am one with all I see. I am whole and I am free. Wonderful. So you're going to need several little things for this service today. You're going to need flash paper, and you're going to need a stone, and you're going to need pencils. If you don't have them, raise your hand, and the ushers will bring them around to you. So keep your hands up high so they can bring them to you. Like I said, this is a special service today. Keep them up high. We normally don't have very much ritual in our denomination. This is kind of a ritual service. Dr. Holmes, the founder of our teaching, he said that we stripped a lot of ritual out from our teaching. Unlike a lot of the Orthodox Christian teachings, keep them up there over here, guys. Unlike a lot of the Orthodox teaching, we stripped a lot of that out. A lot of the Orthodox teachings, like prayers, they're prescribed. You have a prescribed prayer for everything, and that's exactly what you do. We don't do that. All our prayers are spontaneous. I told you this story earlier this past year. I was helping the interfaith service, organize the interfaith service, and it had been kind of a testy meeting trying to get everything organized. And I thought it would be good to end on a positive note, so I closed with an affirmative prayer. And the little lady, who's just a delight, she works down at the Greek Orthodox Church, she spoke up and she says, "Oh, Reverend Ken," she says, "those prayers," she says, "it makes me feel so light and wonderful." She says, "It makes me feel just like I've had the prep work for a colonoscopy when I hear your prayers." Well, I never heard it described quite like that, but I'll take a compliment where I can get it. Now, why Dr. Holmes thought that to take out the ritual is that he didn't want people doing things by rote. He wanted people to think about what they were doing. He thought that was very powerful. You needed to think about what you're doing. And I think there's a lot of truth to that. You want to make sure that it has meaning what you're up to. Now, there is a place for rote prayers, I think, and that's when you are in a place where you're just so upset that you need some comfort, you need something that keeps you from thinking about whatever's upsetting you. I hate to admit this to you because it's probably not a thing most ministers will own up to, but a visitor, a relative of ours, came to visit over the holidays, and before she got to the house, she sent us a pre-Christmas gift, and it happened to be a book by a politician that I don't care for. Probably my least favorite politician in the world. And here's the thing. She's a lovely person. She's a lovely, lovely, sweet person. I would never want to hurt her feelings at all. But boy, that upset me. And it got into my body. The upset got into my body. And that night when I tried to go to sleep, I had monkey mind on caffeine. That's how much monkey mind I have. I couldn't stop thinking about it, and I knew I had to. And so what I started doing is I started saying the Lord's Prayer, just continuously, one after another. Now, the Lord's Prayer really is not a part of my typical spiritual practice, but it's something so embedded in my memory that I could say that and focus on that, and it would not allow one thought of negativity to come into my consciousness. And it was a very helpful and powerful tool in that instance. So I think there is a place for rote prayers, but most of the time, we want to think about what we're doing. We want to make sure that what we're doing has meaning to us, that we're just not doing something automatic. And so today we're doing a ritual, but the ritual is about how we want to bring something new into our lives and how we want to release something. Because to bring something new, we may have to release something. To create a space for that new thing to come in. Nature abhors a vacuum. So we want to create a vacuum so that new thing can come into our lives. And sometimes releasing to create that vacuum means that we have to make some adjustments that may or may not be totally easy to us. I had a friend one time in D.C. He was a Actually, he was my boss, and he was a guy. He had done quite well in D.C. He had a lovely apartment. He wanted a lady friend in his life, and he just wasn't able to attract one. I was working with him, and finally I went to his apartment, and it was in this really nice apartment complex in D.C., and I walk in, and the space is mainly empty, but this was way back in the 80s when they used to have those big, huge televisions, the ones that used to just take up all kinds of space. He had one of those. He had his recliner set directly in front of that television and a TV tray beside his recliner. And the only artwork was of his sport teams all over the walls. And I told him, I said, no woman's going to want to come feel comfortable here. You haven't created the space for them to come in. You've got to create a space where somebody's going to come in and feel comfortable. They're going to feel at ease here. And that's what we want to do here. We want to create a space where a better idea can come into our consciousness. Now, what we're doing today is not changing the mind of God. Don't have that idea. And so, you don't have to be worried that you get everything down on the paper or the right words on the stone. It's not to impress God. It's to impress your thinking. See, Spirit already knows what you need to do. Spirit knows what habits you need to let go of, what job you need to move away from, what person you need to get out of your life. Spirit knows all of that. It's just waiting on you to get a better idea. And this ritual is to imprint that better idea in your consciousness. This is what this is about. And if you do your part, Spirit will do its. So that's what we're here about. Here about imprinting a better idea for ourselves. This will cement these ideas in our consciousness, and if we will keep our minds and eyes open, then something wonderful will show up. And also, I want you to keep in mind that even if it's a small bit of change, it can make a big, huge difference. Even a small bit of change. When you're out on a big cruise ship, big, huge boat. If that ship is heading in the wrong direction, if it needs to make a 90-degree turn, it's not going to do it automatically. It's going to slowly track to those 90 degrees, but it can turn itself completely around over time, making small changes. And small changes can make big, huge, life-affirming decisions, small changes. I have a friend in Atlanta, and he served on the board for the Carter Center, the Jimmy Carter Center in Atlanta. And they do remarkably good stuff all over the world. And they solve a lot of health issues throughout the world. One of the health issues that they had noticed in Africa were people were going blind because tsetse flies were landing on their eyes. And so the scientists went and did research about, well, how can we stop this? How can we stop it? And they actually came up with a very easy, simple solution. These were people who live in the desert. They were nomads, so they went around, and they had never come up with a concept of an outhouse. They didn't have that concept. They just went into the desert. Well, because of that, these flies were reproducing. So the scientists came to them and said, you just need to build outhouses. This will solve the problem. This will keep your kids from going blind. You would have thought it would have been welcomed news. Oh my goodness. The older people, and mainly the men, were outraged. We have been going to the bathroom in the deserts for generations. It was good enough for Grandpa. It's good enough for me. Now, finally, they got to the women. There you go. And the women said, we've had enough of this nonsense. You get out there and you build an outhouse. They did. It solved the problem. A small change can make a big, huge difference, even a small thing. But sometimes it's hard to hear the truth of that small thing. My teacher, Kennedy Schultz, said, the truth will set you free, but at first it's really going to irritate you. The first time, yeah. So we want to be open. We want to be receptive to that better idea because we want to have a better life. So releasing things can make a huge change in your life. And here's the other thing about this ritual. I've been doing it for many years now. I'm going to light all these candles, but I'll just light one to start with. And I'll tell you something I've noticed about doing it. I've told people, given instructions to people, I don't know how, 12 years, way more than that. And I always tell them, you come up, you write, you're going to write what you want to release on this paper. You come up, you're going to touch it to the flame, and you're going to throw it up in the air. Easy, easy. But do people want to do it? No, they want to lay the paper down on the candle and put the candle out. That's the reason I got several candles this year. They want to hold on to the paper and run around like a human torch. We don't have fire extinguishers up here, and so don't do that. You got to let it go. Let it go. This is the biggest problem. We don't want to let go of our problems. We don't. We enjoy our problems. We do. We think they're endlessly fascinating. We really do. Kennedy said, you go around and tell everybody your problems. They're not interested in your problems. They have their own problems. But people think that their problems are endlessly fascinating. My dear sister, God rest her soul, she went through a traumatic divorce. Susan Lucci and all my children had never gone through such a divorce. And everybody was updated daily on it. I was talking to her on the telephone one time, and she was explaining what was going on. And she says, Ken, she said, I got to get off the phone. She said, the postman is coming. I got to keep him updated on what's going on. The postman. I told her, I said, Sandra, that man is being paid to come to your house. He doesn't need to hear about your woes. But yet, she needed to tell him, let go of your problems. Welcome a better idea. Welcome a solution. Now, my teacher in Atlanta, Kennedy Schultz, he had a drinking problem. He said he never had turned down a drink unless he misunderstood the question. He went to recovery. In recovery, he said he got a better idea. And he said the better idea was really the ministry. And he said what he came to realize was that you needed something so meaningful in your life, so important in your life, that you wouldn't risk losing it to go back to the old habit. So that's what we want to do. We want to have something so meaningful, something so enjoyable, something so wonderful that we're not going to risk going back to those old habits, because we're here to live the best life possible. We're here to have lives of joy, lives of love, lives of meaning. We're here to make a difference in the world, and we can do it. You are the light of the world, and you're here to bring light into this world, and you can do it. Spirit is counting on you. It called you by name from stardust so you could be here in this moment. You have a role to play. You are important, and nobody else can do it but you. So today, we're going to make space for a miracle. That's what we're doing, and you can do it. So I'm going to do a meditation now, and we're going to think about what it is that we want in life, what it is that we need to let go of in life. And after the meditation, I want you to write down a word or a symbol or an idea on this paper, and when you're ready, come up to the bowl and set it afire and release it. So this is what I know. I know we've come to life to live wonderfully, joyfully, with love, with ease, with health and prosperity. I know there is a new day dawning, and I'm playing a role in it. I am here to usher in a bright new day of sisterhood and brotherhood, where people are living together in peace and ease and prosperity. I am here to have love overflowing in my life. I'm here to have friends that remind me to play, that cause me to laugh so hard I have to catch my breath. I'm here to do something meaningful and purposeful. I am here to make the world a better place for my having been in it. And there is nothing going to stop me. Old man night has played long enough in my life, and here today, I'm turning it loose. I'm letting it go. Here today, Spirit and I are moving forth. We have a better idea. Here today, I see a bold new possibility for myself, a bold new day, a new heaven and a new earth. So I am ready to let go. I am ready to break the bonds of fear, of lack, of limitation. I'm ready to burst through every wall that's held me back. There is a new Jerusalem in my sight, and I'm on the move. So when you're ready, open your eyes, and I want you to write down one thing you're ready to get rid of in your life. One thing you've played with long enough. One thing you're ready to turn over to Spirit. And when you write that one thing, come up to the bowl and get ready to release it. Grab it again. There you go. Oh, try it again. Don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid. Did good. Yay. Okay. There you go. It's okay. Yes. There you go. Nothing. There you go. There you go. All right. Be brave. That's good, Lucy. Oh, it's gone. Don't worry about it. Good times. Okay. Oh, not. There you go. Let it go. Yay. All right. All right, so I'm going to do one for all of us. And what I'm releasing fear. What I'm releasing is doubt. I'm releasing anger, lack, and limitation. I'm letting all that stuff go because you know this nation and our world, we've played with those things long enough now. It's time for us to embrace a new day. It's time for us to realize that we're all God's children, that we're all here to live and support and love one another, and that we can. That we've come to this life to live and live well, to have love, to have joy, to have health and prosperity. We're here to know that God is with us, for us, and that it is flowing through us, that it's supporting us every step of the way. So here now, I'm releasing any idea that I've ever had any kind of separation from my Creator, that I am supported, I am loved, and I've been created to live the best life possible, and that best life is starting today. That best life is starting now. As I leave this place today, I know that I'm on the move, and that there's a bold, new, bright day up that's shining forth for me, and I'm accepting it. So I'm letting go of all of that here now. We light it, and we let it go. Where did it go? It went back to where all our problems go, back into the nothingness from which they came from. The only way that they stayed around us is because we gave them energy. We gave them attention. But here today, we're stopping all of that nonsense. Here today, we're keeping our eyes lifted to a better idea, a better knowing for ourselves. We are going to choose to see ourselves as God sees us. And when we do, there is absolutely nothing that's going to hold us back. So now we've created a space. We want to now bring something in to our lives. It may be more health. It may be more love. It may be more joy. It may be more prosperity. It may be more peace, more ease, more calm. So close your eyes. And I just want you to know this with me, that you have come to life to live well. You are the beloved of creation. You were and are a perfect idea in the mind of God. And God has not been disappointed with you for one moment. God has never despaired of you. Spirit has never been disappointed in any of your mistakes. In fact, Spirit is more inspired by your possibility than it has ever been worried about any problems you've ever had. So here today, we are going to grasp to ourselves a better idea. Here today, we're going to write upon our heart a truth of how we can live in greater health, in greater love, in greater joy, how we can have a world that inspires us to be the best that we can be. So I just want you to envision the coming year. I want you to see the winter months going by. I want you to see the plants blooming and blossoming in the springtime. I want you to see the warmth of the summer months. Imagine yourself walking on the beaches. Imagine yourself feeling that warm sun. Then envision the fall coming with a great harvest and the cooling temperatures and the holidays. And all this coming year, I want you to envision yourself free from any bondage that you've had. And I want you to envision yourself with some great new joy in your life. It might be a new relationship. It might be new prosperity. It might be new health. I want you to envision something in your life that you know is God-inspired, that you know God envisions you to have, to live the best life possible. So just take a moment now and just envision what that could be. And when that thing comes into your consciousness, write it down on the stone. It can just be a word, it could be a symbol, it could be an idea. It may be success, it may be health, it may be wealth, it could be love. Write down one word that will remind you through the year of this idea of what you would like to have in your life. Now, after you've written something on your stone, and it doesn't have to be much, because you understand God knows, Spirit knows what you need. It doesn't have to be much. It just only has to be something to remind you. Spirit doesn't need to be reminded. You're the one that has to have the better idea. And so when you've written that word, I want you to take that stone and put it in the palm of your hand and place it over your heart. And I want you to envision now that word, that symbol, that sentence, whatever. I want you to envision light coming from the palm of your hand and writing that word on your very heart. I want you to envision it inscribing on your heart a better life, a greater idea, a bold new expression of how you want to live, how you want to be, how you are going to be more of what God intended you to be when you were created in this world. Envision that light, just like a pen writing on your heart. And when you're done with that, I want you to take that stone and grasp it in your hand and hold it up to the sky. Hold it up to the ceiling and envision giving it over to Spirit and making a commitment that you and Spirit are going to make a change, that you're not going to continue living the way you've lived, that you're not going back to an old world. You are stepping forth into a new Jerusalem, a new promised land. The walls of Jericho have come tumbling down. The walls of fear, the walls of lack, the walls of limitation, they have tumbled down, and you're not going to spend one iota of energy ever rebuilding them again. You in Spirit are on a mission. You're on a mission from God to make the best life possible, and you're not going to turn back. So hold it up high and envision a new day for yourself.
Joy is everywhere when you take the time to see it. Throw your hands in the air when you take the time to be here. 1, 2, 3. Take the time, take the time, take the time to be joyful. Take the time, take the time, take the time to be joyful. Take the time, take the time,
Right now.
take the time to be joyful. Take the time, take the time, take the time to be joyful. For joy is everywhere when you take the time to see it. Throw your hands in the air when you take the time to be here.
Take the time, take the time, take
the time to be joyful. Take the time, take the time, take the time to be joyful. Take the time to be it.
Feel it in your
Throw your hands in the air. Take the time to be it. Take the time, take the time.
Take the time to be joyful.
Take the time, take the time,
Take the time to be joyful. Take the time. Take the time. Take the time to be joyful. Listen to y'all. Take the time. Take the time. Take the time to be joyful. Take the time. Oh, take the time.
take the time to be joyful.
Take the time to
Be
joyful.
Oh, thank you, Santa Lucy. All right, so now we come to the time where we have the opportunity to support our center, and your support is really needed and vital and necessary. Now, you can support our center in a couple of ways. You can do it in prayer work. Very vital. Do conscious prayer work to see this center growing and thriving. There was at one time when, before COVID that at this service you couldn't find a seat in this auditorium. So do prayer work to see people returning back to our center. You can also do prayer work to see our youth program full. We used to have a whole choir. Envision that. You can also do volunteer work for us. We always have things that we need to do. And also you can come up with ideas of how we can grow our center or fundraising. Finally, and as importantly as any of the rest of them, you can support us in coin and consciousness. So however you choose to support us, if you will take your offering, place it over your heart, and read with me this affirmation of prosperity. It's going to show up here soon. Just it's going to be like magic. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow. In all what I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. If the ushers will step down, please.
1, 2, 3. Here we are, making ourselves aware. The beginning is now. Washed up,
New, seeing life with new eyes, we're opening up. We are here in the sunlight, dancing in our dreams. I see the new day dawning. I feel my new life calling to me. I see my light is shining around. I am free.
we are standing on solid ground.
We're ready to soar. All we see are possibilities leading to more.
Oh, we are here in the sunlight, dancing in our dreams.
I see the new day dawning. I feel my new life calling to me. I see my light is shining around. I used to put myself down. I used to stand in my way.
Now I release the past. I burn it up. I'm
Waking up to a brand new day. I see the new day dawning. I feel my new life calling to me. I see my light
So we thank you for your offerings. We bless it. We know your support is allowing this center to grow and to thrive, to be a beacon of hope and love and light and inspiration. We are needed, we are necessary, and you're doing your part to make sure that we still stay here in this city, that we still are bringing this thought, this new idea to this world, and that it is needed now more than ever. So you're doing your part, we're doing ours, and we're grateful for your support. We bless it and we release it, knowing that it does its good and important work, returning to us multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. Thank you, please. All right. Now we're going to close the service. We're going to do it by affirmative prayer. I'm going to do this prayer in the first person. Take it in for yourself. If I say something that works for you, well, you hold tight to that. If I say something that doesn't work for you, well, just let that part slide by. But just know this truth with me this morning. There is but one God and one mind and one power. And that power is perfect love. It's divine intelligence. And that power created me from itself plus nothing else. It created me so I could walk the soil of this earth and to know a better idea, to see myself as God sees me. So here today, I have made the decision to let go of something that has held me back. I have served long enough in bondage. I am on the move. And like the Israelites leaving Pharaoh's land of slavery, I am walking towards a land of freedom, a land of milk and honey, a promised land of compassion and kindness. Here today, I choose to see myself as God sees me. There is a new day dawning, and I'm proclaiming that new day in my heart and soul. Spirit has called me forth for a better idea, for a greater life, and I am not turning back. I have lifted my eyes up unto the hills, and I see the strength rolling down. God's support, God's love, God's compassion. I am leaving here, and I am inspired. I am encouraged. I am not moving, going back. I am headed forth, and Spirit is with me every step of the way, calling me on. I now choose to see myself as God sees me, not as weak and wounded, but courageous, bold, and dynamic. I am here to make the world a better place for my having been in it, and I am not going to tell myself anything else. This is the truth. Every cell of my being radiates this right knowing, and I release this prayer into the mind of God to do its good and perfect, bold and dynamic work, returning to me multiplied abundantly. And together we say, and so it is. All right, my dear friends, I'm going to leave you with one last thought, and that is your life. Your life, it's not a problem to be solved. It's a miracle unfolding, and your job is to go name your miracle, proclaim your miracle, and make it your own. God bless us all. Now let us go be the miracle God is calling us to be. Until we see each other again, many blessings.
I see the new day dawning. I feel my new life calling to me. I see my light is shining around. I see the new day dawning. Feel it. I see the new day dawning. I see the new day dawning. I see the new day dawning. I see the new day dawning.
You weren't with me.
Love you guys. Happy New Year.